Oh my god, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Splendid start. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 in Minecraft. This is part 36, and in this one, we're going to be laying out the entirety of cart corridors, along with getting some of the detailing in. Really, it's just like the wires and stuff in these hallways, along with the closed-off hallway here. Not a whole ton of detailing, but still, we're starting to get there at least. And, yeah, anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so to start off with the cart corridors, you want to get out the following materials. Yellow wool, white concrete, yellow concrete, cyan terracotta, block of iron, monster spawners, polished deep slit stairs, I guess. I don't really know. Oak slabs. And polished deep slit slabs might be beneficial. We're gonna get them, but again, I don't know if we're gonna use them. It's just, I think I want to use them as a placeholder for something we actually technically need them for anyway. So if you look at the door, we're going to call this the back of the room. Here where you end up going down and having a fun old time in the, or where you send Barry on in his way. You want to take the yellow wool to the left, and you want to extend it to the left. Not the bottom one, but the one up from it to the left with 2 white concrete. Then go left with 19 yellow wool. Two white concrete, 18 yellow wool, two white concrete, 8 yellow wool, and you'll extend it towards you with 7, then 2 white concrete, 2 yellow wool, 1 white concrete, then you want to leave a gap of 5, and place another white concrete, and whatever you use for the placeholder you can just break. Then 3 yellow wool, 2 white concrete, 5 cyan terracotta, 2 white concrete, then you're going to go left with 1, and then left with 6 cyan terracotta. That's like roughly the size, but we go a little bit more that way, but, you know, we're somewhere. From the end cyan terracotta, you want to leave a gap of 7 extending forward. I'm going to use iron here. And then place another cyan terracotta. You will extend it right by 5. And then place 2 white concrete. Go towards you with a white. Then 5 yellow. Again, it is always going to be wool. 2 white. 2 yellow. And then I'm going to place a block down a polished deep slate block. Then beyond that, 2 yellow. 2 white. 8 yellow. Then go right with 7 yellow. 2 white. 3 yellow. 2 white. Then 8 yellow. Then backwards, so back towards that, with 7 yellow. 2 white. 5 yellow. 2 white, 5 yellow, 2 white, and then we'll extend right, so kind of towards the opening there with a white. Then 3 yellow, whoopsies, that's the wrong one. 2 white, towards you with 1. Then place 5 yellow, still extending towards you. 2 white, 3 cyan terracotta, Polished deep slate in the floor is a placeholder, kind of. Cyan terracotta in front of that. Then you'll extend it right by 8. Then back by 4. Then place 2 white. 5 cyan. 2 white. Then extend right with a white. Then with 7 cyan. Then with 2 white. And then you should end with 11 yellow wool. And that'll connect you just into the polished basalt there. And that's the shape of cart corridors. It's a little bit of a weird shape, but we do have the inner line to do as well, which will be a little bit easier, I think. I mean, maybe, I guess we'll see. So, like, where even do you start here? That's kind of what I'm wondering. So we're going to start at the same kind of area at the back right here. And we're going to take these 2 white concrete. And so heading forward from this left one, you want to leave a gap of 7. And place another white. And you only want the 1 for now. Actually, no, we will extend it right by 1. I lied. I think it'll kind of make more sense to do that. You want to then go left from this white with 19 yellow. 2 white. 18 yellow. 2 white. And then you'll head forward with a white. Then with 12 yellow. 2 white. And then, hold on, I gotta catch up. And then 5 yellow. 2 white. Extend right by 1. Then place 3 yellow. 2 white. Back 1. Then back with 6 cyan. 2 white. 3 yellow. Then a polished deep slate in the floor. Then beyond that, 4 yellow. And then you'll head right by 7. Place 2 white. 3 yellow. 2 white. 8 yellow. Then head forward with 7. Place 2 white. 6 cyan. 2 white. And then you'll head right with a white. Then with 7 cyan. Then 2 white. Then 2 yellow. Then a cyan terracotta. And this cyan terracotta you'll connect all the way back with yellow wool. And it should connect into the left white concrete of the 2. This singular cyan terracotta you'll bring out in each direction like so to kind of create a 2x2. Still have a couple more loops to do. There's like an inner one I believe on both of these, and that should be everything other than that pathway, but I'm not worried about that right now. I guess we might as well do it. I mean, it makes kind of sense. You want to take the, out of this kind of back one, you'll take the left white concrete corner here, and right of it you want to leave a gap of 7. And then place 2 white extending to the right. You'll then place 3 yellow, 2 white, and you should notice that these whites line up with the ones back there, which is a good sign. And so, on, is it both sides or just one? On both sides, you'll take the outer white concrete and extend it back with a white, 6 yellow, then 2 white, and then you'll go in with 1 and connect together with 3 yellow. You should do the same thing with this one, I believe. It might be a little bit different because of the cyan and stuff, but it's roughly the same kind of thing that we're focusing on here. So, hold on, let me just get my bearings. Okay, yeah, so it's back left. That's what I'm looking at. You want to, again, leave the gap of 7 from the whites here and place 2 white moving forward. I'll get there in a second. There we go. And then, again, it's 3 yellow, 2 white. And so, this one is a little bit different because you have cyan on one side and yellow on the other. So, sorry. And you'll take the front and back whites and extend them left with another white. And on the back side, you'll go left with the following. You'll go 5 cyan, 2 white, 5 cyan, 2 white. And on the other one, you do the same, but with yellow rather than cyan. So it's 5 yellow, 2 white, 5 yellow, 2 white. And then you'll extend either white in by 1 and connect together with 3 yellow wool. And there you go. You should be able to kind of look at it and see that almost every pathway is 7 blocks. You don't have to count it, just as long as you look at it and see that, yeah, that looks like 7, then you should be fine. It's not exactly a game of being like, yes, it's precisely this. It doesn't really matter all that much, frankly. So I think I do want to get this pathway out of the way just because, you know, it might be logical to do so. You want to take the yellow left and right of it, and you want to extend it back by 18. And then place 2 white concrete beyond that. Before we do anything else, the whites at the, like, front of this hallway, you want to actually extend them forward by 1 each, just so they kind of stick in. We're doing that differently for a reason, and you'll kind of see why in a second. Because all the other ones are rows of 2 that we have to specifically deal with. So, I kind of want to talk about a couple doorways specifically. The first one is this one down here at the, like, very beginning. Essentially, all the white concretes are going to get brought in. However, there are some exceptions that are weird to this one. And this is one of them here. The first kind of doorway. You'll bring the white concrete in on either side by 1. That's normal. But you actually do want to break the original row here on the left and just place a yellow wool on the corner there. Just like so. The other side doesn't really matter if it's 2 or 1. You might want to, as you're replacing the white concretes, replace the original, or as you're bringing in the white concretes, replace the original with yellow wool. I'm not going to, and I'll explain it, because it doesn't matter either way. It just might help for the walls bringing up. But yeah, every single, like, white concrete, these rows of 2, you're bringing in by 1. The corners, like these, are a little bit different. And the only thing that actually makes them different is essentially you're bringing them in by 1 on each side, but you're leaving the corner open. And you'll be able to envision or see why later more so than right now. It really is just because it's connecting, these are connecting to 2 different, like, archways, and just the corner would just get in the way. It doesn't really do anything good for us. But yeah, you're just kind of bringing all the white concrete in. And you should be able to, as you're doing this, just do a reality check and kind of look from above and see if you missed any. It's fairly easy to see where they go in and where they don't. But yeah, it is really just a case of 1 white concrete in from each block. I guess except the corners is technically 2 because it's 1 off either side of it, but that's besides the point. Okay. But yeah. I think we'll do the train pathway before we bring up the walls, just so we can kind of understand where the walls actually sit with retrospect to what we've done so far. But I don't know, I don't make up I mean, I do make it up. I make it up as I go. So you should have this, and as I can tell, yeah, everything seems pretty good. There's a couple that are 1, again, it's that doorway at the back there that we tampered with. Ooh, I actually missed that one, though, the, like, far one. Don't forget that, because that's one that you could easily forget. Like I just did, but yeah, there's really like 3 doorways that don't, and if you look at mine, you can kind of check each doorway and just compare to make sure that you have the same. That looks trippy, actually. That's weird looking. Now, as for the train pathway, the monster spawner row that we started with, this is going to be at the, technically the right side. You want to make sure you're between the 2 pillars at the end here. The final, like, 3 blocks are between these 2. And so you do have to bring them all the way left. So essentially, I'm just going to bring these left to the first set of pillars, just so I can confirm that, okay, yes, if I place 1 block on either side and then extend it up by 1, I'm diagonally connecting to those pillars. You essentially want to be 2 blocks off each yellow wool side, and again, you can look over there and see that you're 2 off that, and that would mean that you're 2 off this one, assuming your path is 7 blocks. But these end 3 monster spawners, you are just going to bring all the way through, and you're only gonna stop once you're at the very end. Like you're going all the way down with this to the end of this little the corridors, I guess. The final row of cyan terracotta there. But yeah, we'll worry about what happens with these later because this part is a bit annoying. The rest of the floor should be a block above the monster spawners and a block below the outline we made. And it's all block of iron. Now, if you're in survival, again, don't be, but, I would use quartz or something, or polished diorite even. But these are a little bit cleaner, so I did go with a block of iron instead. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of go around and I'm gonna just trace everything. Anything that I can say while we're doing this? No. So, as of right now, I don't have anything for between segments, but I'll probably have a pinned comment to talk about that as to what is going on, if I do have any plans or anything. But as of right now, I don't really have anything. I'm just going to move straight into Batum, I think. But we'll see. I could even use Playtime Co. as an in-between, but I feel like that would be too many parts. And there's also Baldi's, but that's not ready, so... You know, but it might be ready by the time you're seeing this. But yeah, I kind of do want to get Batum recorded, because Batum's the one I'm looking at right now, and I'm like, kind of needs to be done. Like, it's definitely the one that's just sitting in the background, waiting some sort of a spotlight. But I think I'm at the point to where I'm ready to. It's only chapter 1, by the way. I do plan on making the other chapters eventually. That's probably going to be the only time you'll hear me say that, but it's not my main priority right now. Might be like a side thing I'll work on every once in a while if I'm bored, but not really going to do anything yet. It's a lot going on. A lot going on. Not necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes it is, I guess. Anything else I can point out? Not really. There's not really a ton to say here. There's a lot of filling, too. So I have to ramble for something. Oh yeah, there's obviously still Secret Neighbor. But I have, like, nothing for that. I have nothing for that or Playtime Co. as far as, like, even a time frame. They kind of just came in at a really bad time because I'm, you know, in the middle of doing this, and Ban 0 just got done, and, like, Batum. It's just, it's a rough time, but I am hoping specifically Playtime Co. will be soon. Secret Neighbor I'm okay with pushing back a bit. But I am hoping between Ban 0 and Batum that it'll be like good enough, and then hopefully I should have one more day I could throw in for something. Like maybe Saturday or Sunday I'll make Playtime Co. at some point. I don't know. That might be after I do the statues segment though. But I'm not really sure. Depends how long Batum takes too. Because if I'm like not even started musical memory by the time I finish the Batum tutorial as far as uploading the Poppy Playtime stuff, then you know. Because I just finished the first segment, like, today. And if I am still on musical memory, then I'm fine, I think. But then again, this segment is so short, and if I don't have a between, I kind of need to be ahead of myself there. Because I always like to be ahead in case I make a mistake in a part and I have to go back. I haven't had to yet, but there's always a chance with the way that I've split these up that I do get unlucky. One more little area. That's another reason I didn't start them, like, immediately when I started recording like I normally do, is because I knew the game station was going to be one of those that I would somehow make a mistake on, and I would have to be like, whoopsies, guys, you gotta change all of this now. But, you know, I haven't done anything crucial like that, like a block off in a wall or something, because, you know, I miss one block in a wall, it's over. I gotta redo the entire thing, because I can't just be like, okay, guys, you want to actually change this entire wall? Like, I'm not going to do that. It's unfortunate. It would be unfortunate if that would happen. But I feel like I've, like, hit myself at a point to where I'll notice in the part because I'm finishing the layouts. Anyway, speaking of which, you should have this. That wall's fine. I'm not really concerned about that. Yeah, you should probably bring the yellow here at this, like, kind of right side just forward until you connect. Essentially, you're gonna want to be... You can go one short of the polished basalt. We'll go with that. Because left of the polished basalt, you'll place 2 cyan terracotta heading out and then go kind of back by 1 like so. Now, This is going to take a while. The yellow wool and cyan terracotta you're bringing up with 6 rows. All of it. It should go up to the same height as this kind of top here. We're not really worried about it because it will cover up anyway. But yeah, it should be the same as the yellow wool wall that we have already, as well as... I want to talk about one other thing as we're doing this. The inner white concrete, I would maybe recommend bringing up. Now, you don't have to bring it all the way up. What I'm going to do here is... You're unfortunately going to have some areas where the cyan terracotta and yellow wool will clash over these. But I'm going to go over the inner row just on the very top row. And so you see here where I have cyan on this side here and I have yellow on the other. I'm just going to bring them each in by 1 at the top. And yeah, because we have to do that later anyway, and it's going to be really annoying to do that with all the archways in place. So as we're doing the walls, it might make more sense to do that. And for like a corner here, well, this is a bad example because it's all cyan, but kind of do whatever. You could do yellow on 2 or cyan on 2. It doesn't really matter. I would probably go with yellow on 2. That's what I did originally, but yeah. Go with whatever. I am going to time-lapse this one because this will take a while. But I won't time-lapse the archways, I think. So yeah, do have fun doing this. Make sure as well over the like little vent pathways where you have the singular polished deep set. You want to do 2 things, actually. You want to take the top 5, I think, cyan terracotta or whatever block it is and go across. And then at the top, you'll place an upside down polished deep set sub. I'll probably reiterate that if I remember after, because I do realize that's kind of a lot to throw you with. But, yeah, I will catch you on the flip side once this is done. So yeah, your area should look like this. Cool. Now, as we're doing this next step, it's going to also take a while, but I won't time-lapse it. You want to just kind of, I guess, keep in mind areas. Now, the doorway at the back, like at the far back here, this hallway, essentially the back, the arch comes all the way up, so you don't have to worry about it. At the like front of it here, though, you should connect the top row of yellow wool across, because this is sealed off entirely. It's like the only area that is for some reason, but it is. So each white concrete you want to start by bringing up by 2. Now I'm gonna focus on one of the corner doorways because these are the weird ones. So essentially, I'll just kind of do. I gotta do all 4, I guess, don't I? Yeah, I can't really do like half of them because that's just gonna be inconvenient. So you should end up with this. You only have to worry about the outer ones again. The inner ones don't matter. You want to then bring them up with 3 yellow concrete. Now, when I'm saying yellow from now on, it'll be concrete, probably. If I don't specify. If I say yellow wool, don't use concrete. That's dumb. And then you'll take the middle row of yellow concrete and extend it in by 1 towards the, like, I guess, you know, towards the center of each archway. And then the top row of yellow concrete will just get connected all the way across. And so for, like, these, essentially you're just kind of creating a square of them, almost. And if you look at the center of them, you see they do create a square. And it looks kind of weird. Whoa, it looks like a circle from that angle. That's so weird. It's like if you're perfectly above it, it looks circular. That's an optical illusion if I've ever seen one. Anyway, aside from that, we're going to ignore that fact. You're doing this with all of them. Now, obviously, not all of them connect the same way, so you're just, you know, again, the 2 white, and then the 3 yellow, and then you're just kind of connecting the top across, and then having the row in either top corner, I guess. That's one way to put it. But yeah, you're just doing this a lot. They should all have a row that makes more sense to do it on. Obviously, some have 2. but like, you know, it will kind of almost work into itself. You'll kind of see where it lines up. It's definitely a weird, like, shape for some of these corners here, but that is kind of how it is. Yeah, this will also take a while, though. It shouldn't take as long as the walls did, but it'll still take a minute. Do I have anything I can talk about? Not really. I think as of right now, my plan for the, like, end segment is to split it off at water treatment. Now, my problem with that is, I guess between the last two, I want water treatment for the thumbnail for the final segment, because I just think that makes the most sense, right? That seems like a logical room to use. That is not going to split off evenly, so I might do 3 segments. I'm not really sure. And at that point, it only is affecting the thumbnail. Like, it's not going to really have another in between, probably, especially at that point, because it'll be, like, December, probably. It'll be, it might not be December, but it'll be late this year for sure. Although, seeing as how quick this took, it shouldn't really be that bad. I am hoping the tutorial finishes this year in total. But I will see. But either way, yeah, because I might end up just doing, like, water treatment and then, like, have the bay room as the thumbnail for the final part, but I'm not really sure. It's weird to split it up that way, because that would mean the thumbnail will be, like, the final room, and I just don't know how I feel about that. But I also don't know if there's any better contestants for the thumbnail, you know, in that particular area of the game. Like, there is, I guess, the grinder room, but that's also right at the end. I mean, I could maybe do the sewers or something, but again, that's not particularly interesting enough. Like, I want a room that everybody would know, and everybody would be like, yeah, maybe the furnace room. That'd be a good one, I think. And then that would give water treatment still a thumbnail. I don't know. I'm not doing it the same as I did Chapter 1. Chapter 1, each part was different. I'm trying to keep it fairly the same, while also, you know, splitting it up for the segments, so it's not just the same room every time, and you kind of get a sneak peek of what's going on in the particular segment. It's kind of been my goal. Not particularly easy, though, because, you know, to sum up 18 parts with one image is a little bit tricky, but, you know, I try my best. I mean, I guess the game station was like half of those parts, but I mean, that's besides the point. I mean, it is the point. It definitely is the point, but, you know. Is this the last set? I feel like there's more. I don't really know, to be honest. I'm just building. God, this is such a weird everything, you know? Like, I'm at the point with it to where I'm like, what do we even do after this? I was thinking fill in the ceiling to get it out of the way, but I also feel like it would make sense to wait, so we have the... What's it called? The, like, ability to just fly up and do everything, you know? And, like, go around that way rather than having to actually traverse through it. I don't really know. I have a minute to decide here. I feel like just filling in the ceiling will be nice to get it out of the way, though. Just get all the grindy stuff out in this part. That might be what we do. And then it'll just be all detailing for, hopefully, the final part of the segment. It could very well be 2 more, but I'm not really sure. I'm confident that it'll be 1, but, like, you do never know, right? Especially with the amount of stuff that is in this map, like... 1 part is not a lot of time, but I mean, I could always make it 1 part, you know? It's not like I have to do 2. Because, I mean, what are we? We're like 25 minutes into this one? I don't know. I think the ceiling will be time-lapse, though, as well. I do hate to hit you with back-to-back like that, but at the same time, I, again, do want as much stuff in this part as I can get. Yeah, that should be all of them. Yeah, nice. That's all of them. It should look like this. It looks like an absolute, like, mess right now. It'll get there eventually. So, for the ceiling, you're filling it in with cyan terracotta a block above the tops of the walls. Now, one other thing I will mention before we do that. This doorway at the back, I don't know why I made it too thick, but I guess I can. You want to bring this up with an additional row of yellow concrete, so it just kind of closes that off. But yeah, the cyan terracotta is a block above, and it's just everything. You're starting at the very end here. And essentially, you're just filling everything in at this height. Now, at the very front here, there's really nothing to be concerned about. You're just a block above that. I will confirm to make sure that that doesn't stick out at all, but I don't think it does. Yeah, no, it doesn't, so it is just right there. And, yeah, again, you're gonna be filling this for a little while. I'm gonna slash fill a lot of it. I'll be back once I am done, though. Cool, you should end up with this. Now, there's a couple details we do have to do, I think, before we can focus on other stuff. So I want to start with the train tracks and some of the obvious stuff, at least. Head inside, and on the left and right row of monster spawners, you want to place rows of polished sheepside stairs that face out, just like towards the iron now. And it'll be on both sides, and it'll just kind of go all the way around. And it should connect into the passageway that goes down to the ending of this area, and it'll also kind of just go to the end of the monster spawners where they abruptly stop for now. We'll go further later, but that'll be probably next part. It should be, unless we somehow finish the entirety of this area in 20 minutes, but I don't think we will. Nice. On every other block, starting from the first oak slab over here, you're just going to place an oak slab and between the polished sheepside stairs. And I believe you should end perfectly on the corner. It's either perfectly on or off, and I don't remember. Okay, it's off the corner. To where essentially the oak slabs are on either side, but they're not on the actual corner. And yeah, that works fine. And you'll just kind of keep this going all the way to the end. And you'll obviously stop once you can't place anymore, like so. Nice, that's the track that Barry is on. I didn't use normal rails because it's kind of embedded in the floor, and, you know, that was really the only reason I needed. But, yeah. So, from this point, you can clear your inventory and get out the following materials. Light gray concrete, red concrete, yellow terracotta, and then you want the following walls. You want polished deep slate, blackstone, sandstone, and then you also want just regular stone blocks. These are no longer walls, and smooth stone slabs. And I do believe that is everything we'll need, at least for what I want to do right now. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, it's actually polished andesite slabs, not smooth stone. I apologize. I didn't realize that. But yeah, that should be everything. So, yeah, we can help bamboo trapdoors, actually. I lied. Of the row of yellow wool left and right of the kind of end of the train track here, where again you're going down, you want to place off of the bottom 2 bamboo trapdoors extending out on the floor that are open towards the inside of the iron. You're going to crouch place another row on top of them of the same trapdoors. Just like so. At the very tippy top here on the, like, the gap kind of in the middle of the yellow wool, you'll place going down on the left and right 3 light gray concrete. Connect at the bottom, and then bring that middle light gray up with a red concrete and then a yellow terracotta. Below the corner light gray concrete, you want a black stone wall and then 3 polished deep slate walls. Connect the black stone walls together with a sandstone wall like so. Next up, underneath the tracks, this is going to be really annoying, but we might as well do it. So, you can get rid of, I guess, your bamboo trapdoors or whatever. So you can get out iron and just break to the floor. On the underside of the monster spawners, the blocks where you don't have an oak slab in the center, you're placing an upside down polished andesite slab underneath. It'll be essentially the same pattern, just obviously inverted, and it's every other still. A lot of this is kind of detail in vain, so if you don't want to do too much of it, that's fine. You could also just black it off as an option. I almost did, but I felt like I wanted to add something under here. It's not particularly fancy or mind-blowing or even good, but it does the thing. And I will go right to the end this time, because I'm not sure particularly where it ends. On the outer 2 rows, you're essentially doing the opposite. So you're going to create kind of as like a checkerboard pattern almost. Well, it is a checkerboard pattern of these upside down polished andesite slabs. And yeah, you're just going to do this all the way across and down and whatever until you reach the end. Okay, almost there. Except I gotta do this side too. But this one's shorter, I think. Unless I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. Almost. Come on. And yeah, it should look like this. Around the monster spawners, you're replacing stone, and you may already have stone in some spots, but you'll bring it down an additional row from that as well, so it goes, you know, and just like go around it essentially. And it'll close off most of it. And you do want to do like the end here. It will go over. Yeah, you do want the stone below as well. I was trying to figure out if you needed it, like, or in line with the monster spawners rather, because I didn't know if it was like gonna intrude on the floor or anything, but no, it doesn't. And yeah, almost. Again, it's like a really minor detail. You can barely see it, but you do see it. You can see it, in fact. And yeah, it should look like this. A block below the monster spawners, and I guess a block below the upside down polished andesite slabs, you'll just fill this in with stone below. And it'll just give you a little bit of a compartment. These could be pipes. I don't remember what they are particularly. I think they're a mixture of pipes and maybe something else. But yeah, a lot of times, like in these chapters, you'll see things under like grates like this. I generally don't make them because it's just a lot of extra work for something you can barely see through the monster spawners anyway. But this time I did for some reason. I don't know what made that one different. It just kind of, it just was. It's really my only reason. So you should end up with this. Again, it's like, it's barely noticeable. You can definitely see it with night vision. Like, you can see the stone through and stuff. But when you don't have night vision, it's definitely less noticeable, I think. I don't know. I always have night vision on in this world, so. Except when I'm checking lighting, but that's not something I would check. If the light shines through, I'll see it, but it isn't going to shine through, probably, so. What can we do next? There's one other thing we can do, like back in this original hallway. So, on the right side, you want to take the first yellow wool here, and from it, you want to count over by 6. And place a blackstone wall. That's definitely not blackstone. There we go. You'll leave a gap of 4 and place another one, and then with both of these, you'll bring them up by 4, and then just extend them left and across this hallway to the other yellow wool wall. Yellow wool wall, what a sentence. From this point, oh god, there's like a bunch of things we can do. I don't know which to start with, you know? It's like, it's so many things, it's too much. You can clear your inventory, and we're gonna get out just 3 things for now. We're gonna kind of go small step at a time. You need block of emerald, warp buttons, and redstone torches. And so we're gonna actually go like down and through the kissy hallway, and oh, I missed the corners on this one. Really, I missed the corners on a couple over here, actually. That's crazy. But you want to head all the way down until you essentially run into this first cyan terracotta wall here. And we're just going to kind of follow the pattern of this area. And so on this first one, you're taking the middle at eye level, and you're breaking the cyan terracotta, replacing it with a block of emerald with a warped button off of it. You're going to just keep walking straight, and you'll find a cyan terracotta wall on the left, and again, you'll break the center, emerald, redstone torch off of that one. Next one on the left, again, you're doing the same thing. Then you're going to just follow around this hallway, and if you keep going straight here, you'll find a cyan terracotta wall on your left again. And this one is, since it doesn't have a center, it'll be, out of the center two, it'll be the leftmost one. Again, you'll place an emerald at eye level with a redstone torch, and then you'll follow this one through. Okay, that's an impressive one to mistake. Yeah, I made a couple mistakes, apparently. And the next one should be on your left, and it is, yet again, a redstone torch. But it's not in either of these center 2 blocks. If you look at these center 2, you'll count right an additional one from them, and so you'll be one off this wall, essentially, and you'll have a redstone torch. You'll keep walking through. Cyan terracotta wall on the left. Center is, again, redstone torch. On the back wall here at the end of this hallway, you'll break this one, block of emerald, but this one is a warped button instead. And then if you just back out of this area back to the rails, you'll turn to the left, and on both sides here, you'll take the center at eye level, and again, emerald, whoopsies, I did not center that, emerald with a redstone torch off of it. Nice. Those are all of the conduits, or whatever the heck they're called, I don't know. Conduits just sounds mildly fancy, so I want to use it. If I'm just going to be honest with you. So I guess sweeping through and doing details kind of makes the most sense. I want to save lighting for last, though, and like the pipes and stuff on the ceiling. We'll do all those at once, because those are another annoying thing. So you can clear your inventory, and for this first area, start by getting out warped fence, nether brick fence. Hold on. Let me just, like, get there really quick. Yellow concrete. I meant, like, mentally, not physically. Red concrete. Lime concrete. White concrete. Polished basalt. And a lever, and that should be everything. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say that's everything. There is a light there, technically, that we could do, but I do want to wait on it. So, head back out to the beginning, like, hallway here, and you want to be... If you're looking towards the opening, again, where you send Barry down, you're turning to your left, and you want to take the 5th yellow wool over at eye level. Break 8 along with the one to the right, and then 2 rows above it. Fill the bottom with yellow concrete, and then out of the new 2x2, the bottom right will be a lime concrete. Red concrete off either side, white concrete in the top left. Going to the left a little bit from this, you want to be on this cyan terracotta pillar, and specifically the right row of it. Off the top block, you'll place a nether brick fence and extend it down by 1. Turn so you're looking towards the doorway, or the, I guess, exit again, and you want to take this bottom fence and go towards that exit by 2. Down 1. Then what is back by 4, which is towards that still. Down 1. Back by 7. Up 1. Back by 5. Up 1. Back 3. Up 1. Back 1. And then left 1 into the corner of the yellow wool. There's another one that comes out of this, though. On this, like, end row, you have this row of 3 behind this fence. You'll take the middle and extend it down by 1. Then go back by 5. Up 1. Back 4. Up 1. Heading into the next hallway, again, you're going to look down and look kind of the top left. And off this yellow concrete, you'll go back with 2 fences of nether brick. Down 1. Back by 5. Down 1. Back by 6. Up 1. Back 4. Right 1. Back 1. Up 1. Back 1. Right 1. Up 1. And then back by 3, which will go over to the next portion, and then you'll stick over 1 there. And then you'll go down 1. Left 1. Down 1. Whoopsies. Back 1. Left 1. Up 1. Back 1. Then you'll leave a gap of 3 and place 2 nether brick fence. Then down 1. Back 4. Down 1. Back 2. Up 1. Back 2. Right 1. Up 1. Back 2. Right 1. Up 1, and then back by 2, and you'll stop there. The gap will make sense later, but yeah, that's a lot of fences. There's more, though. We didn't do them all. There's just a little bit on the right side. It's not a ton, but if you direct your attention to the right side... So I think actually what might be easier is to use the nether brick fence to figure out where this thing starts. And so you want to, on the nether brick fence, you're taking this row of 6 in total. It's just like the second little row. And you're taking the, not the back one, but one in front, and you're going to trace this over and across. And if you head up to the ceiling, you want to place a warped fence here. Extend back one, down one, back one, down one, back two, down one, back by 5, up 1, back 3, up 1, back 1, up 1. And that should be, I think, symmetrical. No, actually, it's not symmetrical. But, yeah, it should look like this. And if that doesn't line up, just kind of change one thing. It's not really a huge concern. Beyond this doorway here on the left side, you'll count to the 4th, or 5th, excuse me, yellow wool back at eye level. Break it, replace it with an upward-facing polished basalt. Lever off of it. This is the kissy lever, which is fun. There's one hallway we're going to entirely complete. We don't want to see it again. We never want to look at it ever again, because we're also going to seal it off in the process. Head through this doorway here into the hallway that just leads into the void right now. And if you clear your inventory, you want to get out the following materials. Red nether bricks, light blue carpet, light blue shulker box. It's not something I use very often, but there's a lot of shulker boxes in this build. Magenta shulker box, purple slab, nether brick fence, sea lanterns, spruce trap doors, and we're gonna go black concrete. So I would actually start by a block beyond the doorway, just filling this in with black concrete. You should have it 2 blocks thick, and you'll just be able to fill it in flat from there. Generally, I would go out another block and do some weird thing, but not for this one, just because you already have it 2 blocks. On the left side, you want to count forward to the 6th yellow wool from the back, along the floor here. And you want to count over to the 2nd block of iron and break and replace it with a red nether brick. From it, you'll head forward diagonally left and place 1 here. Then 4 in front of that one. And out of this row of 5, the 2nd and 4th, you'll extend right with a red nether brick. It'll give you this, essentially. The back one, essentially you have like 3 red nether bricks that are all right arrow. The middle, I guess, you'll extend right by 1. Out of the center of this row of 5, you'll go up the wall with 3 red nether bricks in the yellow wool. And in front of it, you'll have a little row of 2. Just right of the very front red nether brick on the floor, you'll place a light blue carpet. From it, count back 2, left 1, magenta shulker box. Count back diagonally right 1, light blue shulker box. Count right 2, back 1, purple slab. You'll actually trace that purple slab up to the ceiling, and both in front of and behind this cyan terracotta respectively, you'll place nether brick fences. Extend them each down with a sea lantern and connect the sea lanterns together, and then place spruce trap doors to open up against all sides of this one, obviously other than the top and bottom. One thing I do want to mention, I'll talk about it more later, but because we're sealing off this hallway, you might want a block of gold and essentially do the same thing we do with the other blocks, like with the polished diorite floors with the block of gold. This one is a little bit more interesting, though, because you want some of these to have, like, a stretch of them together. Like, you want to have some funny shapes going on here, and just have some, you know, something like this, kind of. You will obviously still have some that are just singular dots, but you want more overall shapes with it, like so. And just kind of, you want to do this in the entire area. I'll go over it again once we get there, but I just wanted to talk about it briefly. Along with texturing the walls, it's the same thing we've been doing. It's just yellow concrete powdered down like 0, 1, or 2 blocks. You can then get out iron bars, and the inner half of both doorways you're actually covering up with iron bars, which means closest towards the hallway. So like at the back here, it's the front row, and at the front, it's the back row. And don't trap yourself in. That's probably not something you want to be doing, to be honest. Nice. Do I want to finish the other details? I mean, there's honestly not much else to do. So, I mean, other than the ceiling, so I honestly think I am going to end the part here. So once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 36 of Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 complete. Hopefully next part we'll be able to finish everything, but I'm not really sure because we do have that entire, you know, kind of pit area to do, and those usually do take a little while. But that one isn't too bad, I don't think. It's a short one. It just depends on how long the ceiling and stuff takes. Hopefully we'll finish. But anyway, with that being said, thank you all so much if you guys did enjoy this video. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.